What does hazardous air quality mean for Minnesotans? It means, like, choking. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know a lot of people, they've adopted the COVID masks, full time for whenever these, listen, it's Canada. They're always committing these terrorist attacks. I think we got to invade. These sons of bitches, they can't keep their forests under control, and at this point, I assume that it's got to be out of malice. I think they don't want us to have clean air. I think listen, when you talk about them being the 51st state, only if they knock this shit off, we need to take them over just so we can manage their forests. Listen, I know we struggle with our forests. I know California doesn't have the greatest reputation with forest fires. I know that a bit different parts of the West are always burning. Minnesota's burning right now. You know what I mean? Like, but listen, that's a failure of leadership. I'm saying, like, let's just we can get the natives back out there. You know, when the natives would do controlled burns, all those Indians, they'd have like those fires like that would like consume whole fields. That's what you got to do. You got to burn. You got to have shit burn. That's why everything's fucking burning nowadays. You don't let people do controlled burns.
Minnesota's waking up to smoky skies as those wildfires grow up north.
The Twin Cities now experiencing hazardous air quality, the worst rating on the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency's scale. Again, we have team coverage on this bad air and the wildfires up north, but let's start things off with Audrey Russo, live from our rooftop here at Care 11. Good morning, Audrey. Good morning. Yeah, honestly, it's kind of bleak for the next couple of days. We're actually out here on the roof specifically so that we can kind of duck back inside in between our live shots to stay safe, because this is some of the worst air. This could actually be the worst air quality ever recorded in the Twin Cities. Around this time last year, we had some hazardous conditions kind of up closer to the Canadian border, the northern part of the state, but this is an entirely different animal. Take a look at this map.
Take a look at this map.
All along the eastern side of the state, that big maroon splotch, that maroon means hazardous. The area near Roseau is honestly the only section safely in the green at this point.
Well, shit.
So how is the air quality measured? Well, Minnesota's Pollution Control Agency looks at the amount of fine particles in the air, and they issue an alert when that value reaches 101. And that's usually when we caution people with asthma or other respiratory conditions to take it easy. Now, we're measuring over 300, and doctors say everyone is more likely to experience symptoms like wheezing and chest pain.
Motherfucker.
I would still recommend you try to stay indoors.
Yep.
Try not to exercise heavily outside. And if you are going outside and you do have a high-quality mask, like an N95 mask, that can be very useful.
I'm going to put this out there. Waterboard yourself. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a facial covering mask. I'm going to dip it in water. And I don't care. I don't care if I'm going to struggle to breathe. It helps filter. It helps filter it out. And then that's just, I'm not lying. Listen, I know that you can come at me for not knowing science. I really don't. I dropped my physics class, and like my teacher got really mad at me for that. He was like, "What is this going to teach you?" And I'm like, "It's going to teach me that I don't like your fucking attitude." And then I got out of his class. Thank God. Listen, it's not his fault that he was a fucking asshole, but you know, he taught me a little bit. He taught me a little bit about when to drop a class and when to call it quits. But you know when I'm never going to call it quits? On this goddamn show. I'm going to keep giving people non-scientific advice for the rest of my life. Dip your masks, waterboard yourself. That's all you have to do. You're going to die if you don't. Otherwise, do you want fine particulates in your lungs? I don't think so.
Right now, there's like a running list of events that are canceling or postponing, from car shows, golf courses are closing down. The Target Cup, the Target USA Cup up in Blaine, they actually had to postpone some games yesterday. They are likely going to do the same thing today. If I were a betting woman, I'd say that they're probably going to postpone some of their games, just again because we are in these hazardous conditions. Now, the Aquatennial is scheduled for this weekend. We've actually reached out to the organizers to see if that Minneapolis event is going to have any changes. These conditions are expected to improve slightly by Friday, but of course with the wildfire, it kind of just depends on how that's burning and whether or not the conditions improve enough for us to see sort of an easing of the smoky conditions. So we're going to keep you posted on that.
Who knows? It smells like a campfire outside. That's all I know. I look outside right now. It's a dense fog. It's not very fun. You know what I mean? And plus, all of these, like this haze, it can easily penetrate deep into your lungs. It can enter your bloodstream. And sensitive groups, older adults, children, people with heart or lung diseases, they are more at a severe risk, obviously, for medical events. Healthy adults are likely to still experience immediate symptoms like burning eyes. Obviously, you're gonna have shortness of breath. You're gonna cough. You're going to be sneezing. If you have allergies or any issues already, you're probably going to be struggling. And state health officials are urging all Minnesotans in the affected zones to immediately suspend all outdoor activities and remain indoors. Listen, are they manufacturing the weather? Probably. Wasn't it clear, perfect blue skies before this? I'm just kidding. I know that it was wildfires. I understand that, but the fucking government sets those. You know it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that whenever the government wants you to sit inside your house a little longer, they just go fake a fucking forest fire in Canada. It's factual. It's true. You can track it. Air conditions are also, they should be set to recirculate indoor air to keep smoke from air conditioners and whatnot, to keep smoke from being pushed inside. You should just recirculate your indoor air. And anyone who must go outdoors, wear something tightly fitted. That's what they're saying is N95s, KN95s. If you're a real freak from back in COVID, those respirator masks, those are going to be useful for you. Standard cloth surgical masks, they cannot filter out the microscopic soot. So, they're expected to linger out through Friday. These hazardous conditions, incoming cold front and forecast is set to bring some relief and blow the smoke out of the state. Listen, at that point, it'll be somebody else's problem. And I'm very happy to report that. I'm happy to report that you won't have to worry about that long term. Because in all honesty, we don't need that. As Minnesotans, as North Dakotans, we struggle enough. We struggle enough with what exactly? I don't know. People finding bodies in the Red River every other day. That's just kind of a thing at this point here. Whatever. Let's get another clip from this gentleman who is in Minneapolis, which is labeled the third most polluted city in the world right now.
Minneapolis is the third most polluted city in the world right now. This is all according to a website called IQAir.com. It monitors cities across the globe. Number 1, as of Thursday morning, is Detroit. Number 2, Toronto, Canada. Number 3, Minneapolis, Minnesota. On Wednesday evening, the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency upgraded the air quality alert to hazardous for the Twin Cities. That has never happened before. We know, obviously, there's wildfires happening up in northern Minnesota and Canada, and I'll tell you, it smells like it. If I kind of put my tongue out, kind of tastes like it too. This obviously isn't healthy.
Why are you doing
that? Time outside. So the alert is in effect until Friday at 11 a.m. So if you are spending time outside, just be careful. And if you are returning from vacation just like me, let's have a day.
What? Okay. I have actually some decent solid advice. If you'd like, you can put some meat outside. Like if you want some smoky flavor added to that meat, you don't need to spark up the grill. You don't need to get that smoker going. You just need to set raw meat out in the sun right now. Now, I understand if you live in a wooded area like a lot of Minnesotans do, you're going to struggle with animals. You're going to struggle with whatever. Put like a net over it to make sure that the bugs can't get in and you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Just let that thing catch all that nice smoky flavor and it'll be Canada style. That's like we can create a brand new flavor of meat. Wouldn't this be a great idea? I want someone to do this. I want someone to create a brand new flavor of smoked meat that is specifically smoked in the wildfire smoke from Canada. And northern Minnesota. I can't blame it all on the Canadians. It's the goddamn woodland critters up there that can't keep their woods in order.